It's day 79 in a year of living the warrior's way. Today I want to talk about something that's a little bit unusual. It's the theatre of the mind. And what the fuck has the theatre of the mind got to do with living the warrior's way? And what in the world is the theatre of the mind? Well, it's something that was coined from Maxwell Maltz, one of the founding fathers of self-help and psychology and all of the different things that are now so prevalent in the world. And he basically realized that you can use the power of your mind to see things that have happened in the future before they've even happened. So let me just take you through some examples of how he worked this out, because a memory is a snapshot in time. It's like a photograph. And that memory gets stored in the gazillions of filing cabinets in our brains. And mixed in with that memory is emotion, is thought, is meaning to that memory that's subscribed to that memory. There is a story within that memory. And there are different things that are very important, or can be very upsetting, or can be very happy, different emotions that come with it. Now you can go back any moment and relive that memory. For example, I have a memory of sprouts. Sprouts? The fuck? Those horrible green things that you eat at Christmas time morning. And my memory of sprouts and the smell of them and the taste and the texture of them makes me want to be physically sick. There's a reason behind that, is I can picture sitting in my father's industrial kitchen in one of the restaurants and pubs that we owned and being force-fed sprouts because they were good for us, even though we detested them. But they were good for us, and you'll fucking eat them because I'm telling you, and you won't waste food, and there's people starving in Africa, and all of that bollocks that my parents used to say. And he used to stand over me, this huge man, forcing sprouts down my throat. I was gagging at them. And that memory and the smell. And any time I come within, 100 yards of sprouts, I go straight back to that memory. Now here's a funny thing. In this big industrial kitchen, we used to sit against the wall, and there was a window, obviously, that opened up and down, and then there was a walkway alongside the side of the pub and the restaurant that people used to walk and obviously get to the high street. So one day, I decided, being very clever and ingenious, that I would pop these sprouts into my mouth and pretend to be chewing them. It's all right, Dad, you don't have to call me a little fucker today. I'm eating the sprouts. So he turns his back, I take the sprout out of my mouth, fuck it out the window, and that's it, sprout gone. Oh, that sprout was lovely, that was the best sprout ever. Take another sprout into the mouth, he turns his back, sprout out of the mouth, fuck it out the window. And I did this until all the sprouts were gone. And I thought I was so fucking clever. Until the next day, someone went into the pub and was complaining as they were walking past that they were being pelted with sprouts. So I got a fucking beating yet again, so my cleverness didn't necessarily work. But that's an example of how I can be brought back to everything. I can picture sitting on that stool. I can picture the kitchen. I can feel the heat from the cooking. I can see him standing over me, imposing, bullying me. Eat the fucking sprouts. Eat the sprouts, they're good for you. Fucking aggression, anger, frustration, drunkenness, all of these things that he projected. And I'm taken back there instantly. And anytime I smell sprouts, anytime I see sprouts, anytime I think about sprouts, that comes back to me instantly. Now, Maxwell Maltz, being the founder of modern psychology, and his book Psycho-Cybernetics, talks about how, fucking hell, these bastards, look, they're cutting the fen, so it's going to be noisy. So excuse me while it's noisy, while they're going past. He took the idea that you could forward project anything you wanted in your life. You could think about it, You could attach meaning to it. You could attach emotion to it. You could attach stories. You could put in sounds, sights, smells, everything that is normally associated with a memory for something that hasn't even happened. And the reason he was so well documented about this is because he was a plastic surgeon who realized that no matter how much he changed someone's face, how many breast augmentations he made, how many changes he made to their nose, their mouth, their lips, whatever, deep inside they were scarred that they were ugly. Because a lot of these procedures were cosmetic, where people wanted to become better versions of themselves. They wanted to change their lives because they actually thought, if I have bigger boobs, people will like me. And then he had the exact opposite, women coming in with big breasts saying, if I have smaller boobs, people will like me. And then he had people with, my nose is huge, if I get rid of my big nose, everyone will find me attractive. But he realized that no matter how many times he cut and he slashed and he added or he took away, inside the person's brain, they were still messed up. They still adopted the personality of who they were, no matter how many times they changed and cut. This is why people become addicted to these plastic surgeries, because they're chasing something they will never get. It's a very difficult thing. So what Maltz did is he would sit there and he would make people sit and visualize the future, the outcome they wanted, the person they wanted to become, who they wanted to change, and he would get them to think as if it had already happened. It's very in-depth. You're going to need to listen to his audio book or read his book to see exactly what it's like. Psycho-Cybernetics, Maxwell Maltz. That's it.